Okay, back to the question. Okay, you see that yes, while I was gone, but you didn't know I was gone, I drew a unit circle and I put the terminal arm into the third quadrant. The reason I did that because we know that we're going in the negative direction, which is clockwise. So this now is our theta. And we also know this is point P. Now, to get another coterminal angle, again, we could go in the positive direction. So I could go this direction around. And if I do that, what would that value be? Well, it would be 360 minus 120 because it would then be a positive number. So 360 minus our 120. And when we do that, we end up with 240 degrees is 1 theta. We could go in the negative direction and go negative 360 and another negative 120, and that would work as well. And when we do that, we end up with a negative 480 degrees. Okay, so those are coterminal angles to negative 120. Now let's move on to the next question. Question that I've seen on tests before. Hint, hint. So how many complete rotations have been made? Okay, so we have theta 930. So we're going to have to do a little bit of arithmetic to get this one. So 930, if I divide it by 360, I'll know how many complete ones have happened. So let's figure that out. And I brought a calculator up for us. And so we have 930. Oops. 930, and we're dividing it by 360 for a grand total of 2.5. So we know that 2.6 we'll put here roughly. So we know that it's gone at 2 times completely around. Okay, so that's the same as going 720. So 930 minus 2 times our 360, because we have 2 complete rotations. And we can then calculate what the very basic theta would be. So minus 720, so 210. And 210 degrees would be in the third quadrant. So how many complete rotations have been made? Well, our first line calculation actually gave it to us, right? So 2 complete rotations have occurred. So we'll put that down as soon as I get my pen to go where I want. Therefore, 2 complete rotations. And then if we actually do which quadrant is P located, okay, so we know it's 210, so we know that's in the third quadrant. P is located in the third quadrant. And finally, since it works for me, it says draw a diagram to show the position of P, including the coordinates of point P. Okay, so we got a little bit of work there to do. So let's draw now our coordinates. Okay, so we need, for this, we're going to need a y-axis and an x-axis, and we also need a unit circle which we will move so its center is at 0, 0, or as close as I can get it. And we know that it's in the third quadrant. Again, you do not need to make it exact. I'm going to use purple for mine. So this is roughly where it's located. And that's going to be my point P. So I'm going to put my point P here. And this is our P. We still have to find its coordinates. Now, if I drawing this, so I have to go around 2 times. So 1, 2, and then I get to stop. Okay, so that is our 930 degrees. If I look at the coordinates of P, it has the value X and Y. And you're saying, how on earth am I going to figure that out? Well, from that important lesson that we did together, that really long one, X stands for cos of theta, and Y stands for sine of theta. So I can literally put in the theta, because we know what it is. I could either use 210 or I could use 930. I'm going to use 930 just to show you that it works. So cos of 930, sine of 930. You wouldn't have to give me these many steps. And I literally need now to take my calculator, make sure that it is in degrees. Now I have a graphing calculator here. I did check that just to make sure everything's fine. I'm going to go to mode again, and yes, it's on degrees. You can see that. Okay, so I need the cos of 930, and I also need the sine. Since I have it up, I'm going to bring it up as well. Sine of 930. And there's that. So notice both of them are negative, and that makes sense because in the third quadrant, both x and y are negative. So negative, we're going to say negative 9.7, sorry, 8.7. Well, actually, I probably should do all four. So negative 0.8660, and the other one was negative 0.5. Okay. So as I said, that's kind of a nice test question. Sometimes it's combined with the question just before that. Find how many complete rotations, find me, two coterminal angles, draw it, give me the coordinates of P. So all those things together in one question. So I can test an awful lot. Okay, so have fun tomorrow in class.